US President Joe Biden met with British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak at 10 Downing Street right here on Monday, and presumably Biden addressed Sunak as Prime Minister after erroneously referring to him as President at an earlier meeting in Washington, D.C. Now, this was their fifth meeting in as many months, and it came on the eve of the NATO summit due in Vilnius in Lithuania on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Biden's meet with Sunak and later with King Charles intended clearly to underline relations between Britain and the US that have been described as rock solid after reports suggesting differences between the two, particularly over matters relating to Northern Ireland in the context of Brexit. Biden's visit to London was really therefore a polite diplomatic stopover en route to Vilnius. The two leaders expressed their resolve to continue to support Ukraine in its war with Russia despite differences over the recent US decision to supply cluster bombs to Ukraine. Britain is a signatory to the Convention Against Cluster Munitions. The US is not, nor for that matter is Ukraine or Russia. A spokesperson for the Prime Minister here in London said cluster bombs were discussed, and it was explained that this had been a difficult decision for the US to have taken, and that this decision had been forced upon the US by Russia's war on Ukraine. So Sunak stuck to Britain's fundamental position against cluster bombs while showing some understanding of the US decision under the circumstances. Biden went later to Windsor Castle to meet with King Charles, whose coronation he missed. The First Lady attended instead. That visit to Windsor Castle too was further intended really as a sign of a fundamentally firm and in fact special relations between the two countries. That covered discussion also on climate change, an issue that King Charles has long been campaigning for earlier as Prince of Wales. That introduction of a level of substantive discussions really in a ceremonial meeting is unusual for a monarch to step into, but the matter was raised on the face of it as one of personal passion and belief. Not all matters between the US and Britain, particularly over trade, have gone quite as intended or as declared by Britain, but this visit did put up a friendly face over those differences as well.